Roducate simply means roads to education. What we identified were crucial barriers that were hindering learning in Nigeria and in Africa. And we decided that number one, we are going to use technology to take the lessons, the notes, the learning to the students in line with their curriculum, and that we were also going to bring down all the barriers that we identified.
We are now starting to use technology in a way that is improving our productivity significantly. We are using it to teach, we are using it to learn, and we are also going to start using it to run and administer our schools.
An integral part of our corporate social responsibility and sustainability framework is education. So when COVID-19 struck in February 2020, the focus of everybody was on the health implication. But because we have this robust CSR framework, we quickly focus on the fact that there's an area that is being neglected. That is, how do we engage our children? Because it was becoming a major source of concern for parents. How do we ensure that they are fully engaged, safely? And how do we ensure that at the end of the pandemic, our children are not put at a disadvantage vis-a-vis their peers internationally? And that's actually where we conceived this idea of 1 million students being migrated to e-learning platforms. And we looked around. We were excited when we found the Roducate platform that is being promoted by Robert and John. And why are we excited? It's safe, it's already well designed, it can operate on low data requirement, but more importantly, the safety that has been built in and the fact that the content are already accredited content.
This initiative has been very impactful. Over 13,000 tablets have so far been distributed to students, and this shows the impact and the reach of this program to the students. So definitely very, very impactful.
The children we have nowadays are what people like to call digital natives. You might say, oh, some of them have never seen a phone, but have you tried putting a phone in the hands of one of them? You'll be surprised at how very quickly they acquire a dexterity that an adult will never acquire. So for me, it's the way they like to learn. And so why don't we teach them that way?
We feel that we are stakeholders in Nigeria and in Africa. All we just want to do is to use technology to solve social problems and then to advance humanity. That's all we want to do.
And so when we set up our economic agenda and education stood very clearly there. Of course, we cannot do education without technology. So the E there was education and technology, both of them together. Knowing fully well that we need to aggressively improve the quality, the learning outcomes of our education, but we needed to do it using technology as a strong enabler for that to happen. Those are our vision. So it's not out of place that we're doing what we're doing today, with what we're taught and we're concerned about.
They made us understand that we are the future leaders of tomorrow. They made us understand that we have a destiny, we have a future which can never be fractured because it has already been structured by the scripture. And they made us understand that every child has potential, irrespective of their class, age, their level of IQ, the way they look, their political background or school. Every child has potential. The way we use it, that's what will motivate, encourage those that gave us the device to do more. Because if we misuse it, it will not encourage them to do more.
Because of this pandemic, we have been staying at home for over 4 months without any learning activities. But because of this phone that were given to us, we can learn on our own.
We have the lectures where students can pick their term, if it's first term, second term, third term. Then they can pick the subject they are doing, and they can pick under the subject. We have different topics and they can pick and read on their own. And aside this particular thing, you can't even imagine, they can even evaluate.
Roducate Lite has really helped me to read on. From where we stopped because of the pandemic, I've been able to read ahead of the class because it provides us with all topics that we have in a class.
Oh, the students are very excited. I have lots of videos coming in of students using it, and because it's fairly limited in its use, they can't get distracted by social media and going online to various websites. They really have to work on the quizzes.
Our agenda is called FMDQ Next, which is FMDQ Next Generation Empowerment Program for financial markets, and it's basically empowering students between primary school and universities, aged typically between 8 to 25, and providing financial markets education to them. And when the Lagos State presented this opportunity to FMDQ, we jumped on it because it indeed aligns with our agenda. And we think that partnering with the Lagos State on this would help us even drive FMDQ Next further.
% of our composition is about advancing humanity, and the barriers were power. We've created battery pack that uses solar so that the children, wherever they are, can get power to learn. We identified the devices, knowing that KIOS partnership will help bring down the internet consumption, and the devices were affordable, and we were going to give it free to the students. We identified data. So we developed a relationship with the network provider, created our data package, and we give data also for free to access Roducate, the device for free, data for free. And then we also identified internet misuse. We also blocked that and ensured that the children focus on learning.
What is even more exciting is that those devices have inbuilt safety that enables our children to work online, but without any fear that the bad boys on the net can take possession of what they are doing. Part of what we had at the back of our mind, it's also using these as a way to bridge the gap between the children from the privileged background and those from the less privileged background. And as of today, over 55,000 students have obtained free subscription on the Roducate platform, which is being promoted and sponsored by the First Bank.
Satisfy humans' wants. We go about having trade because we have wants and needs that we need to be satisfied. Being that children of nowadays, they like devices, they like gadgets. So they are always encouraged to come to school in time so that they handle the device and make use of it. And secondly, it encourages them to read more. So sometimes even us, the teachers, have challenges with the students, because if you are not prepared fully to face the students, you may be embarrassed at the end of the day because they go ahead of you in studying. So in the desktop, you see Roducate. When you click on the Roducate, it will take you to the next step, which is lectures, mock exam, and assignments. Do not choose what you want to do with it. If there's lectures, you click OK.
It's helping me by understanding my lessons, what my teachers are teaching me, and I love it. My experience in using Roducate is very fantastic. We here in EMCI are opportuned to be the first school in Adamawa State to make use of this e-learning device. Thanks to Robert and Jones, we are very confident of it, and it has helped us to a greater level. We have seen the benefit of it. So government that are not thinking of it, Roducate e-learning device, to put it into consideration, because it is very essential for
today's technological teaching in our schools.
So we are saying we want to call every other person. You know, we've done with First Bank, we've done with the FMDQ, we partnered with the Lagos State government. It's working. We are seeing the children so engraved using the devices.
We don't want a learning divide. We don't want it to be that public school is a poor choice. We want it to be a competitive choice. And so by doing this, we know that our own students too will enter into that digital age. And you know, we have some really smart and clever students, and they are taking advantage. They already, even before this, they were doing things like coding. They were preparing apps. They were working on technology in various ways. So you can now imagine when they now have such a powerful tool in their hands, what they can make of it. So we do want to bridge that divide and provide a truly competitive educational system.
1 million is still far to go. FMDQ is on board and fully ready to support the initiative as it has so far. And we urge private organizations and the government to jump in to this project to help drive 1 million students online.
We just want everybody to join, stakeholders to join, all private sector come on board. Let's do this for the whole of Nigeria, at least up to 20 million people, even if it's 30 million people. Let's move it to the rest of Africa. That's what we are calling for.
Well, it's been satisfactory. We like the product. It is based on our curriculum, and it is also flexible.
Right now, as we speak, we have the West African curriculum, we have the East African curriculum. All we need to do is to add the content of other regions in Africa, and it's good to go.